Hi guys, sorry, I think some dust just flew past the video. I just want to make a video to kind of talk about how I'm feeling, because I'm really down at the moment. Trying not to talk, not to cry, just talking about it. I mentioned in the last video that my mom was coming to visit in the United States, and I hadn't seen her in a year and a half, so I was really looking forward to seeing her for Christmas. My mom came on December 14th, and she left yesterday. She was meant to leave on January 5th, and instead she left yesterday, which was, I think, December 26th. I'm congested, I have another cold, so I'm sorry about that. I don't want to talk in too much detail about what went on between me and my mom, because I want to respect her privacy. But I just feel really emotional. I'm not going to go into lots of detail, but I'll kind of say roughly what went wrong. My mom came for Christmas, and it had been a year and a half apart, so I don't think that she knew what I was gonna be like. When I was in the UK a year and a half ago, I was more positive, I was more sociable, I was much more of an extrovert and happy. And since coming here, I've been through a lot of trauma, and it's changed me. And when I used to be sad, I would go to my mom and talk, but now when I'm sad or struggling, I often want to be by myself. And obviously my mom came here and she wanted to spend as much time with me as possible and do a lot of things. And we weren't very good with communicating our needs with each other. And I was struggling a lot because my daughter Chloe, she's 2.5, she started having a lot of behavior changes when my mom arrived, and it wasn't because of my mom specifically, it's just how Chloe reacts to any sort of change. She starts acting out and showing off, and I was becoming quite stressed about that. And I was very used to being independent and cleaning my own house and having my own rules, so I found it hard when my mom arrived and she wanted to do stuff for me, and she had different tactics for Chloe, and I'm sure this is the same for anyone with grandparents. But I made my mom feel unwelcome by mistake. I asked her to not clean my house because I'd rather do it myself, and I know she was just trying to help, but I get anxious when people start doing things in my house, and my mom felt like it was her fault that my daughter Chloe was behaving negatively, and it was hard for her to see that I was becoming more stressed with the behavior change. And some nights I was going through my own thing and I wanted to be alone, and my mom wanted to go out and spend time with me, and so she felt very rejected when I wanted to be by myself some nights. Now, me and my mom, we probably went out in all 4 or 5 times by herself in the 12 days, and then we probably spent another 5 days with Chloe, and she was with her dad the rest. I'm really sorry for the sniffly sounds. But we couldn't get along. My mom doesn't feel positive towards my living situation and America as a country. She's a very kind person, but she doesn't think it's good that I moved so far away from her, and she's very sad that we live so far apart and that I live the way I live. And there was a lot of sort of arguments and disagreements around my mom's opinions and me becoming defensive. I just changed a lot. I used to be very open and I could sit down with my mom and talk about my emotions. But the only way I've managed to cope the past year and a half is by suppressing how I feel or just allowing my emotions to come out when I'm alone at home, or to write about it in my journal. And I wish I could just sit down and tell my mom how I feel. But I just don't know how to, because I'm so used to being with people that can't handle emotions. Especially after coming out of a rocky marriage. And I've now just got to a point where I don't talk about it. I just kind of mumble along like, I'm not great or I'm fine. And it was really hard because my mom wanted me to talk to her and open up to her. And I was just very shut off and shut down. And I didn't know how to talk to her because I knew if I talked about how I felt, my mom would feel even more upset and even more worried about me. So I felt like I had to kind of take a step back and be more by myself, because I knew the more I was around her, the harder it would be to not melt down and talk about how I'm struggling. But I didn't want to throw my struggles onto her because she was already struggling herself. So it just became really hard. And I just wish that before she left, I could have sat down with her before she booked her flight and talked to her, or put in more of an effort. My mom said a few times that she felt rejected and like I didn't want to go out with her enough or do enough with her, and I just didn't take it seriously enough. I just kind of figured we had 3 weeks, so things would just get better. And I didn't get time to have that conversation with her because I didn't really think she was going to just get on a plane and go. But she booked a flight and she left. But she wasn't like abandoning me or anything. She was only going to come for 3 weeks, and she just left a week and a half early because she had to prioritize herself, which I understand. I respect that, so I'm not trying to talk negatively about my mom. My mom's in her late 60s, she's old, you know, she's got a lot on her plate, and she just felt like I didn't want her there, so she left. But by the time I could tell her that I did want her there, she'd already booked the flight, and it was too late. So, you know, the day she left, we talked a lot, and we amended stuff, and we left on a positive note. And she said, you know, I'll probably come back and just get accommodation somewhere else next time so you and Chloe have more space or whatever. You know, we said goodbye at the airport. But it's still really hard. It's really hard to say goodbye. Because I waited a year and a half. And I got my mom for like 12 days out of a year and a half. And I might not see her for a few more years. Because I'm still going through this immigration stuff and I can't leave the country. And you know, it's too much for my mom in her 60s to keep flying over here. And it's really hard because they have prosopagnosia, so I can't visualize faces and things properly. So I made 2 weeks of memories of like my mom when she was here, but when I look back at these memories, it's just a bunch of emotions and I can't see the pictures in my head. And it's very hard. And the hardest part wasn't just me, it wasn't just for me, it was just having to tell Chloe that her Nana had left. And obviously my mom, she was very nice and she said goodbye to Chloe. But Chloe didn't quite get it until she came back home from her dad's house this morning and looked around, and I said, she got on a plane and went back to the UK. So, I don't know, I'm feeling very guilty. I feel like I wish I did more and I made her feel more welcome. And I'm just like really struggling. I really miss her. But I feel like I'm really glad that she came. She got me back on a path of cooking more and having more food ideas, and she helped me restock my cupboard, and she just helped me a lot while she was here. And I just have to kind of keep going and keep video chatting over the distance. But I just wanted to kind of come on and talk about how I'm feeling, because no one's a perfect person, and I'm feeling kind of crappy about how things went and kind of just blaming myself. Anyway, on a different note, I'm 19 and a half weeks pregnant. I'll be 20 weeks on Saturday. Today is Monday. Okay, so I guess I'm less than 19 and a half, just past 19. My skin has broken out a lot. I think it's the stress. I have managed to gain some weight. I gained, I think, 4 pounds when my mom was here. I don't know if it's all gonna stay on or not. But yeah, I gained 4 pounds in like 12 days, but I think it's probably gonna come off again. I don't know. So that's 4 pounds for the entire pregnancy, and I'm almost 20 weeks. But it all happened very fast. As for symptoms, not a lot's changed. I'm having a lot more movements and kicks, of course. Feeling them on the outside. Yeah, my brain's just a mess. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think that's about it, and I'll show you the bump. I have got, well, my mom very kindly got a changing table and a new dresser for me, so I'm gonna have some like new furniture, which is gonna help with the baby coming. I need to start getting stuff ready because I have 16 weeks till I most likely give birth, which will probably be at 36 weeks. So I'm figuring I've got like 10 weeks to really get stuff sorted. I really need stuff done by 30 weeks. So I'm getting a little panicked. Anyway, let me show you the bump. I don't even know what. I'm still just like so small. Like there's really like nothing here. Yeah, there's still like nothing here. I don't know. I had a 4D ultrasound about 3 days ago, and I got to see her face and everything. It was crazy. And baby girl is I think like 8 ounces or something, maybe more now, going on for a pound. Yeah, I'm just really small. I don't know. I carried way bigger with my daughter, but this baby's just like taking a while to show. Anyway, see you guys soon.